A new law in the state protecting dogs during hurricanes. It's called Trooper's Law.
Yep, Trooper was the dog famously chained up and left in the path of Hurricane Milton. And now doing the same thing to another dog would be a third-degree felony with pretty significant punishments on the table.
That's right. As West 2's Haley Crumble-Holm is joining us live in studio tonight. Haley, you spoke with Trooper's new family now nearly a year after this happened. How is he doing?
So he's doing pretty well, all things considered. His family has said that he's had some health struggles in the 10 months that they've had him. And they said it's clear he's had a hard life before he came to live with them. But he's doing well, and they hope the law he inspired will help prevent other dogs from having to go through what he did.
Frank Spina and his wife Carla knew they wanted to adopt Trooper after seeing his story on the news.
We said, we need to get him. We need to save him.
We spoke with Spina, who lives in Broward County, over the phone Wednesday. He said at first the Humane Society that had Trooper wasn't sure how he'd do living with a man.
So I met Trooper, and me and him immediately became best friends.
It's now been 10 months with Trooper, who now has a sister too, Dallas.
He's great. You know, again, as I said, he did come with some baggage. He does have a little residual, PTSD.
Trooper's former owner was charged with aggravated animal cruelty after Trooper was found chained to a pole in floodwaters on the side of the interstate during Hurricane Milton. He pled not guilty.
This was a horrific case of animal abuse.
As of October 1st, Trooper's Law officially took effect, making it a third-degree felony to restrain and abandon a dog outdoors during a declared natural disaster or at any time in which a mandatory or voluntary evacuation order is in effect.
We certainly are excited about the law.
Alan Harris is the emergency manager for Seminole County, which oversees animal services. He says options are available so that no pets need to be left behind.
We offer pet-friendly shelters. We have drop-off pins if people, for some reason, have to surrender their animals at the animal shelter. We have ride-out teams at the animal shelter. So there should be no reason that a pet is left if a person is evacuating.
Trooper's Law takes effect as hurricane season is still underway. His family hopes the law he inspired will prevent other dogs from suffering the way he did.
What Trooper went through in the short period of his life, that year or two that he lived with that person, he made the sacrifice to make sure that no other dogs are treated that way.
Now, based on court documents, it appears the case of Trooper's former owner is still working its way through the court. Under the new law, leaving a dog like Trooper was is punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Back to you.